no one knows who you are until you prove your worth, and that's where branding goes a long way. The way you carry yourself, the way you are, how does my dad say it now? I forgot that quote. But the way you dress is how you are addressed. So the way you carry yourself is how people will address you. So one of my professors used to say, even if you go for an interview and you don't know what you're saying and you're saying nonsense, say it confidently. Welcome back to my channel. It's that proud black woman once again, and thank you for tuning in today. So before we even get started, if you're new to this channel, remember to like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and to know that I always post good content on here every Friday, so stay tuned. So today is a different one. So I'm going to be speaking in an event today called Virtual Marketplace, and the topic I chose, the topic of interest for me, was leveraging inclusion and diversity and virtual networking for brand improvement. And I will just take you along with me as I speak with people. It's a big event. It's hundreds of people will be attending, so yeah. So I'm just going to bring you with me. You might, if you see me looking away, it's because I'm looking into the computer, because it's actually a virtual event and I'm going to be talking to them via Zoom. So come along with me. I love you guys. See you when I'm done.
Okay. Olufemi Aideoje is a lawyer licensed to practice in Nigeria and Ontario, Canada. She currently works as an environmental health and safety coordinator. She's passionate about inclusion and diversity matters and human rights, hence why she's also the education lead of the Inclusion and Diversity Committee at her workplace. She's a social media content creator of That Proud Black Woman, a blog that focuses on creating awareness on important topics such as human rights, inclusion and diversity matters, institutional bias and discrimination. She also makes funny videos and challenges that celebrate the Black culture and way of life. Kindly welcome with me, Olufemi Aideoje, as she's going to leverage on inclusion, diversity and virtual networking for brand improvements.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Hi.
I love your haircuts.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I don't need to introduce myself too much because Nifemi has done a good job. So I'm just going to try to share my screen here. And sorry, give me a minute.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Loading. So colorful.
All right. Okay. So I don't know what I'm doing here because Miriam, I haven't met her in person, but she contacted me and wanted me to talk about inclusion and diversity. I kind of felt out of place because everybody has like a business or something, and I don't really have a business. So just bear with me. I have a few things here. I might not be going through everything because I didn't know I would only be talking for 20 minutes because I tend to talk a lot. Because inclusion and diversity is like a big issue, especially right now, thinking about what is going on in the world. So it's a big deal, and I don't know how to like make it more concise than I have. So these are the objectives. So after this session, you will be able to define the terms inclusion and diversity and be able to tell the difference. So a lot of people don't know the difference between inclusion and diversity. They think one is interchangeable with the other, or one is a synonym to the other. So we're going to be talking about that. You're going to know the benefits of virtual networking and inclusion and diversity. I tend to just write I and D just to be short. Learn the contributing factors to lack of inclusion and diversity. Learn the I&D strategies to build your brand, and be confident in your journey towards starting or improving your own brand. So, all right, hold on. So, okay, before I go to that, if you could just type in the comment section, what do you think that inclusion and diversity is? What, like, just one or two words. What is inclusion and diversity? What do you think it is? I'm not seeing. I'm trying to see what people are writing, but I can't see it. Hold on. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead. I don't know why I'm not seeing it, but okay. So inclusion and diversity.
There's a response there already.
I can't.
More pages by Dami.
Okay, if you could
Everyone's
just.
opinion is valid. Everyone matters.
Yeah, thank you very much. So that's simply what it is. Everyone's opinion is valid because everybody comes with a kind of difference. Like it could be your age, it could be your background, it could be anything, and you don't discriminate against anybody because everybody is valid. So the agenda for today is, I don't know if I will be able to, as I said, be able to go through everything, and I have a little photo of what inclusion is and what diversity means, community building, care, and all of that. So it's going to be we're going to be defining what inclusion and diversity is. We're going to be talking about the benefits of inclusion and diversity. We're going to be talking about what virtual networking means, then cultural shift, strategies, and then the key takeaways. And then at the end of it, there will be a call to action. So diversity, it's about empowering people. As somebody has said before, like everybody matters. So it's about empowering people, be respectful to people, appreciating what makes people different, be it their age, their gender, ethnicity, religion, disability, whatever it is, making sure that you're not being biased towards anybody. And also, diversity allows for the exploration of these differences in a safe, positive, and nurturing environment. So a lot of people would think, well, how does that apply to me? Because this is people would always think about companies. When companies are hiring, well, they're not hiring black people, they're not hiring, people of color. No, I'm flipping the script. We're not talking about that today because this is a talk about building your brand. So a lot of you might have heard about what has been happening in the US about George Floyd and things like that. And that has been, if I want to say in a way, it has been a kind of eye-opener for a lot of companies, because now they're seeing that this is not just, people have been complaining about racism, people have been complaining about lack of inclusion. There's no people, BIPOC, they say BIPOC is black and indigenous people of color. So we just shorten it that way. So what is it that people have been talking about? They can't see, but because of the pandemic, which to me I feel is a kind of blessing now, because a lot of people have had a lot of time to sit down, watch social media, watch the TV, and they have seen people using videos to capture this event. So now they are consciously trying to put out the effort to employ more black people, employ more people of color. And this is where inclusion and diversity comes in for you. So what are you doing to leverage that opportunity now? That's what I was going to talk about today. So what are you doing to leverage that opportunity to be able to get into that position? Because if you go online now, everybody is hiring. They want to hire black people. They want to hire people of color. And they are kind of lowering some kind of qualifications that they would ordinarily have asked for that some black people might not have. And that has been what has been affecting them from getting jobs, because maybe they came from another country. I'm sure that a lot of us that are here in Canada or in other countries in the world, you already know when you come to this country or when you come to another country, your certificate kind of doesn't matter, because nobody wants to hire somebody that came from Nigeria. So you have to start recertifying, you have to start relicensing, you have to start going to school again. So now the conversation is beginning to change, and they're trying to say, okay, now we see that this is a problem and we have to actively change to change that. So you have to tap into that, leverage that, and make sure you're not thinking about only survivor jobs anymore. Thinking about how can I take that opportunity and get myself a white collar job, get myself an executive job. So what is inclusion? Inclusion is a sense of belonging. So there's a difference between diversity and inclusion. As I said, you can't interchange, right? So, but the most important part of it is inclusion, because diversity just means, okay, you're hiring, but you're hiring from different kinds of, you're hiring from India, you're hiring from Africa, you're hiring from, but then Are you including them in the decision making? Are you making them feel special? Are you making them feel that they have a purpose, right? So that's the really important one. And you cannot have inclusion without diversity, but you can have diversity without inclusion. So let me leave it there. We're going to talk about that later. So what is virtual marketing? Sorry, virtual networking. So before now, I'm always busy because I'm trying to also get, just like everybody else, I'm trying to get my feet settled and all of that. And I would network, but it would be like going for coffee and all of that. But pandemic has made that really difficult. You can't, like, nobody wants to catch COVID. So you have to think about, does that then stop you from networking? Like, do you want to sit at home and say, well, and feel pity for yourself? There's COVID out there. I can't do anything. I just have to like stay home and be sulking. No, you don't do that. So that's why networking comes into play, virtual networking. I know for people that are computer guru, virtual networking means something entirely different. Like joining together one local computer to the other. That's not what we're talking about. It's about, taking action, interacting with people, exchange of information, develop your professional or social contacts via the use of social media, professional platforms, phone calls, emails, video conferencing, and all of that. So that's what I've been doing. I call mine virtual coffee, because since we can't go out to get coffee anymore, we can all, just slide into people's DMs. On LinkedIn, this is one very important tool. Go on your LinkedIn, make sure you update your profile. I'm one person that if I don't see your photo, I know that a social media guru have said something about that. If I don't see your photo, I don't want to connect with you. I'm sorry, but I don't know if you're a scammer. I don't know who you are. So if you don't have a photo on there, and I know that I've advised a lot of people, why don't you put a photo on there? Yeah, I'm waiting for a professional photo. I don't have a professional photo on my LinkedIn. It's a photo that I took when I went to a wedding. I'm going to take photos, but at least let there be something there for the time being. And then when you have the chance, you can go and get a professional photo done. So it's not an excuse. There's no excuse. So what I do is when I connect with people, I slide into their DMs. I go into, probably on LinkedIn, and I, go through their pages, see what they're doing. And then if it aligns with what I want to do or what I'm interested in, I message them. This is what I do as well. Can I get to know you more? Or maybe I want them to be my mentor or something like that. And then we set up a Zoom call. It's so easy now. You have WhatsApp call, you have Skype call, you have any kinds of call, Zoom call. Make sure that you do that and get your name out there. So brand, a lot of people talk about brand. What does brand mean? People would think brand is a commodity, but brand to me, it's you as a person. It's everything you do. It's the air you breathe. It's the messages you post on social media. It's the way you dress. It's everything about you. So in fact, for some people, just wearing the glasses like I am right now, it's a brand. So when they see me some other time and they don't see the glasses, they'll be like, that person looks familiar, but they don't know who the person is, right? So at the end of the day, brand is everything you do. So you have to be cautious about what you do with your brand in order to, get it out there. And how do you do that? As I said, social virtual networking right now is the way to go. Okay, so to the next one. I'm trying to be as fast as I can, but if I'm talking too fast, please sniff me, let me know. Because right now I can see people's content because I'm basically just on my PowerPoint presentation. So what are the benefits of diversity and inclusion? So one of it is it helps you to improve your bottom line. So what is your bottom line? Like, as we're talking before, and one of the speakers was saying, well, you can make a lot of money staying at home, making sure that you empower yourself with your social media and all of that. So that amount that you bring in, if you deduct every other thing, like your cost of advertising, your rent, all of that, that amount that ends up in your pocket, your profit, is your bottom line. And research has shown, like in 2018, Forbes magazine, published saying that brands that are more inclusive and diverse have 19% more revenue than everybody else. So you see why inclusion and diversity really is important for your brand, because at the end of the day, who doesn't want to make 19% extra? Who doesn't? So if you were bringing home 100,000 before, that goes to 119,000. That's extra 19,000 in your pocket. So that's really important to put in your mind. Embracing diverse thinking is useful in generating ideas and useful feedbacks, while at the same time creating brand where there's something for everybody. I will use an example here. Maybe 5-10 years ago, most of the brands for makeup were like lighter skin tone. And then Rihanna thought about, why do we have to wait for, I don't know, because I don't really use makeup, so I don't know the name of makeup. Somebody, what makeup brand is that? Maybe MAC. Why do we have to wait for MAC and cry for them to get us a foundation in our shade? So she found that niche area and she decided to, explore it. And look at her today. She's one of the richest female artists that there is. So that is her employing inclusion and diversity into her business, into her brand, and see how far she has gone. So you think about that as well. So by creating an inclusive and diverse brand, you become part of the force for change in the greater scheme of things. So at the end of the day, she's a name to be reckoned with right now, because it's not only her making money for herself, but she's made history. She's made there to be a big change for people of color. So whatever she's doing is our pride as well. So she's becoming a greater change for everybody in general. All right, so you get more exposure to other cultures, opinions, backgrounds, and it will aid you in creative thinking and innovative ideas as to how to better serve the population. So a lot of people, I get to notice that when they come to abroad, Miriam said something about when you're in Rome, you behave like a Roman. And that's the truth. You can't just be everything Nigerian. You come here, you only eat Nigerian food, you only go to Nigerian churches, you only have Nigerian friends, you only go work for a Nigerian. How is anything going to change? Because the norm that you know from back home is not the norm that is here. So if you don't assimilate into the new normal, you're going to be losing out a lot. So if you assimilate yourself into what is obtainable here, you can take those ideas that you learn and you can put it into your brand, and that way you're able to extend to other cultures. You're able to get more customers across every culture. Do you get what I mean? Rather than, okay, I only sell kuli kuli. I like kuli kuli, so I only sell kuli kuli. But then, how about you making that your kuli kuli look attractive to other people from other cultures that they want to taste it? And that's what I see with Caribbean people. Like everywhere you go, you see Caribbean people, you see Chinese people, they always make sure that they make that their food so attractive that everybody sees it as a delicacy. But I don't see the same thing happening with Nigerian food or with African food. So what are we missing there? So you have to look at that and make sure that you involve inclusion and diversity in the way you think, in the way you do everything. It doesn't always have to be employers alone. Your brand also have to be able to take advantage of inclusion and diversity to be able to grow your brand. So let me just keep skipping because I don't want to be the person that uses up all the time. So now let's just go to virtual network. So there are very important things that I want you to note when you're thinking about virtual networking. So this does not only it doesn't only relate to businesses, it also relates to job seekers. It relates to new immigrants that are still trying to find their food. It relates to people that are trying to change a career or trying to license. So when I'm also a lawyer, and before I got licensed in Canada, I felt alone because I don't know people, I don't have a lot of friends. So most of the things I do is just me and my family. So, and I was going to write exams. So how do I do that? I went on Google. Google is a girl's best friend. I went on Google and I looked for WhatsApp numbers of probably people that are also like WhatsApp group numbers, and I was able to like relate with people, like talk to people there, and we're able to like have like tutorials together and all of that, and it really helped me. So it was like peer mentorship. So that's something that you should think about when you're in a new country or you're trying to change your career or license. So these are the 5 things that I will talk about. So you have to create and update your LinkedIn profile. If you don't have one yet, girl, do something about that, like ASAP. Once you're getting off this event, go create yourself a LinkedIn profile. If you have a LinkedIn profile but it's not up to date, make sure you update it. Put a picture, for crying out loud. Put a picture in there. Let people be able to put a face to the name, okay? And then reach out to people in your field that are interested in what you like, in same interest as you, and make sure that like you can, what I do, I'm sorry, I compose a message that is generic somehow, and then I just copy and paste, but change the name. Copy and paste and change the name, because the truth is I don't have a lot of time on my hands. So I do that, and then you'll be surprised how many people would reach back out to you, right? So if you send messages to 10 people, it might not be that they will respond right away, but in 2 minutes or 2 days or 3 days later, they might respond to you, and you know, that's you moving forward. So also set up virtual meetups, virtual coffee as I call it, on Zoom, on Skype and WhatsApp. You know, have chat with these people, talk about things that are of interest to both of you, and then after, just before you go off the call, very important that you should ask them to connect you with other people of similar interest. So that way they're doing the work for you as well. So if you talk to 1 or 2 people and then you tell them, well, if you see somebody else that has the same interest as me, also refer me to those people. And then before you know it, you're having 50 people, you're networking with more people at this, and it becomes like a cycle. Also, once you're done with the call, always remember to send thank you messages, because at the end of the day, these people took time from no time to, you know, to have to talk to you, to, you know, find out what you're interested in and to help you out in some type of way. So at least within 24 hours or 48 hours, remember to send a thank you email to them that thank you for your time, I really appreciate whatever, and then make sure you keep in touch after that. All right, this one is really important. Cultural shift, as I've already talked about. In order to benefit from inclusion and diversity as BIPOC, again, Black and Indigenous people of color, and immigrants and allies, there need to be a cultural shift from the norm that we have to, for the norms that we have already known, to assimilate into the new culture. And this is interact with other people. All your friends can be Nigerians. Or like, you can't be only eating Nigerian food. Try other food. Try Chinese food. Try Caribbean food. You know, just try other things. Okay? Change the narrative. A lot of people play into that stereotype. They play into the mindset of, oh, I'm a victim. Every time people are racist against me, just because people have a different opinion from what you are used to. Why don't you change the story? Why must it be you? Change the story. What are you doing to change the narrative that people already have about immigrants, that people already have about Black people? Change the narrative. And how do you do that? By improving your brand. Flee away from pessimism. This gets on my last nerve. When people are coming to the country, they're asking you questions. Just because you were miserable when you came to this country doesn't mean other people would be. So don't be giving them advice like, oh, as a new immigrant to this country, you have to work at the morgue. You have to, you know, work in code room and, you know, things like that. Don't, like, if people are giving you those kind of advice, please flee as far as you can from them. You know, you have your certificate from back home. It is valid here. All you have to do is do some kind of research as to what you would do. Maybe you have to requalify or whatever, but forget about survivor jobs. The way you carry yourself, the way how does my dad say it now? I forgot that quote. But the way you dress is how you are addressed. So the way you carry yourself is how people will address you. So one of my professors used to say, even if you go for an interview and you don't know what you're saying and you're saying nonsense, say it confidently. So try that. Flee away from pessimists. Forget about survivor jobs. As I said, as new immigrants, you can work with your degree. Forget about that. Take advantage of the current atmosphere right now. I said this already in the beginning, because people now are looking to hire people from Black community. So take advantage. Go on Google after today, go on LinkedIn and look for those jobs and apply. Because if we don't apply, there's no way we're going to change the narrative if we don't have Black people, if we don't have people of color if we're not represented in decision-making roundtables. So please apply. Don't think, well, I'm not good enough, or they're not going to hire me because I'm Black. Yes, they will. If you know what you're doing, if you do your research as to that company before you apply, please apply. If we have people like you in there, things will begin to change for the good for every one of us. So one last thing I wanted to say about cultural shift is call out racism, call out bias, microaggression. But when you do it calmly and do it with proof. So when I was, my name is That Proud Black Woman. I call out racism. I talk about inclusion and diversity. But people always, you know, have that thing about, oh, angry women. No, angry Black person. I'm not. I'm proud to be black. I'm proud to be Nigerian. I'm proud to be an immigrant. And that's where my name came from, that proud black woman. So even though I'm calling you out calmly, but with evidence, with facts. Okay? All right? Okay. So now I'm going to just go to the... Okay. Sorry. So define your brand, perfect your skill in it. Don't be a jack of all trades. Choose something and let people know you for that. Okay? And the key takeaways, let me just do that. No one is promising you it will be a walk in the park. Have a goal, put in your best towards it, and your efforts will produce results. Also, do your research. Take advantage of the niche areas, as I talked about Rihanna and stuff like that. Take advantage of those niche areas that are lacking in inclusion and diversity and make a brand of it. No one knows who you are until you prove your worth, and that's where branding goes a long way. Also, contact Miriam. If you have a brand and you need to improve, you can't do it by yourself. Make sure that you advertise. It might cost you something, but you're going to get a lot in return. Without compromising your cultural identity, adopt some of the cultural norm here in Canada or wherever you are right now. Apply it to your brand in order to thrive by attracting diverse customers and audience. And don't expect a payback. Pay it forward and encourage others to do the same. So the call to action for today is start defining what your brand means to you. That's the call to action. When you leave here, think about it. Define what your brand means to you and put it into action. So thank you so much. And if you want to contact me, these are all my social media. I have a lot of them. I'm also new to social media, but connect with me on those social medias. And thank you so much.
Well, thanks to you for coming on board. That was really mind-blowing. Thank you, Olufemi. I really love this particular line. No one knows who you are until you prove your worth. That's really, really, really inspiring. Thanks so much once again. And like she said, she has all her handles figured out. For those that would love to reach out to her, you'll be able to do that later, and of course she'll be there for you. Okay, so quickly let's get to the next person. Lola Adeyemi. I hope she's here. Lola is in Nigeria.
So hello everybody, we just ended the event. Now it's currently 9:25 p.m. Eastern time, and yeah, I'm going to have to quickly do some editing of the videos and put in the slides together, and then I can upload it for you guys to see, those of you that missed it, so you can watch it on my channel. And see you. Remember, be nice to everybody. The love you put out there will always come back to you in a lot of folds. Okay, forget about COVID making you miserable. Make yourself happy. Okay, find something that you love to do. Do you like to eat? Eat. Do you like to dress up? Just dress up for no reason. You know, what is it that you like? Do it. Eat popcorn, binge watch TV, watch all my videos on my channel. Just do something. Don't let us, don't let us be down because of COVID, okay? Let's just find something, some type of way to make ourselves to continue to be happy. And, plan a date inside your house. Like, when last did you take your hubby on a date? When last did you take your girlfriend on a date? When last did you take your boyfriend on a date? Plan a date night in your house. Just do something, okay? Life is too short. Let's enjoy it while we can. I love you all and much love. Mwah.